Hello YouTube family, how you doing? So I know it's been a while since I last posted to you guys, but as I'm in preparation of the next video, I put up a poll recently, and most of the people selected the topic that with regards to Christianity, African spirituality, and the New Age religion. So that was the most popular topic that was voted onto. And second highest topic that was selected was the topic pertaining to truth. And both of these are very significant and close topics that are very close to my heart. So in the light of preparing for them, in the meantime, I just want y'all to listen to this poem that I put together. It's a combination of 3 poems, but if you want more of it, you can go to my website. I'll put the link in the description below. And this is the video version of the poems, and I hope you enjoy it. But the poems are also pertaining to the whole idea of questioning, so the whole idea of apologetics, and trying to have a conversation with God pertaining to all these things that happen around us. So I hope you do enjoy the poem in the meantime as I prepare for you all the coming discussions. Bombarded by my thoughts, entrapped in a series of unending doubts, I question the very core of my own beliefs, with search for answers that would give me relief. But my surroundings are filled with multiple reasons and after reasons as to why these attributes of truth seem like prisons. With conflicting ideas raging through my ears, I feel like I'm trapped in this ideological storm's eye. I examine this multiplicity of thoughts, with each presenting itself as the ultimate reality, yet most of them still fall short of the reconcilable truth. And that leaves me with a blanket of mysteries, heavily covered and inaccessible to these senses. Nonetheless, I push through this thicket in hopes that I uncover most of it in stages. But I am still met with dead ends. So, dear God, this is becoming increasingly stressful, much more than I signed up for. I'm so distraught, unable to fully explain the troubling thoughts. I'm relying only on the fact that He who knit me inside and out to the very core of my very being really understands complexity embedded within which that I can't express, with hopes that it's set on a journey of progress, leaving me with mental propensities free from distress. Whilst I admittedly mostly seek you in turmoil, God, I am beseeching you to bring about that turnaround from these situations that are seemingly unending. I hate to be constantly exhausted by this cycle, like I do not have one so powerful and great in me, a rival who reigns above all that tries to weigh me down. And in the midst of the outpour in attempts to explain the chaos within my mind, I hear you say, peace, be still. Be still? You want me to be still? God, I lost my friend just yesterday, so she says, with her heart broken in pieces, her mind scattered all over the place, just restless. And as her frustration steadily increases, screams and cries are heard all over the spaces, with tears rolling down her cheeks. She screams, "Where were you when all this happened?" But silence, silence is all that is reciprocated. I lost this job that I wanted, so he says. I prayed and sought you with due diligence, and it turns out that I'm just seemingly unwanted. I thought what I needed was deliverance from these cycles of perpetual failure, seemingly surrounding my mental area. So I fasted and I prayed to break these chains as they claim that you break these chains, but but it turns out my pure actions were all in vain. Dear God, we are beginning to doubt your existence, and we're starting to wonder that which we called your presence was just a series of melody in synchronies, and maybe that cold breeze from the church's AC. Maybe a leap of doubt is all that it takes to jump out of this detrimental space, to set our minds free from this delusion until we see some supernatural demonstration. Child, oh my child, I've watched you grow into such maturity. And I'm happy that you can now reflect on life. I am happy that this journey that you are on is taking you places that ordinarily seem off. See, I hold this entire world in my hands, not just the physical, but also the temporal. Do not forget that I know the end from the beginning, because everything, and I mean everything, was created by me, through me, and for my purpose to be done. And all this I say so that you can put your trust in me. But before you scream, "But that's selfish," or ask, "Why is it always about you, God?" let me just say that the entirety of your complaint began with "I," which, if you ask me, screams the same. From the point of ignorance about life, you scream "I." Lacking knowledge about the future, you complain "I." Even with all these eyes, you still can't see the bigger picture, whose outline is perfectly laid out in the scripture, that in all things I worked it out together for your good, to those that love me and are called according to the purpose. Before you blame me for anything happening with questions concerning my whereabouts, let me ask you some questions. When last did you invite me to dine with you? When last did I cross your mind in the depths of your escapades and acts of selfish pleasure? Why do you only remember me at dawn in the midst of the eternal so dark? The truth is, I desire more of you at all times, a relationship with you both at dawn and dusk, partnership in times of accomplishment and failure. Child, I want to be a part of your journey through the thick and the thin, not only when it's super convenient for you. See, the evil that you see around you is not my will, but mostly the expression of your free will, as well as a reflection of this broken world. Nonetheless, I still use it all for your good. Nothing, and I promise you, nothing will stop things from working out for your good, for as long as you trust me and stick in my purpose. For as long as you trust me and stick in my will, then even in the midst of the tears, screams, and cries, I promise you I will always be there, because I love you. Next discussion will be on truth, because that's it was the second selected topic of discussion. It will be on truth. I also wanted to give more time to the topic of Christianity and African spirituality, because most of the videos that I came across with regards to that, and most of the content that I come across, there's a bit of the misrepresentation of what Christianity is, at least from the perspective of African spiritualists. So I don't want to end up misrepresenting African spirituality whilst discussing this topic that are upcoming. So get ready for that. It's going to be quite an informative discussion, and I'll put up the video most likely next week. And of course, do not forget to click that subscribe button. It's very, very important. And share these videos to as many people as you possibly can. And when they do enjoy it, please ask them to subscribe, as more of such videos will be sent out through the channel. Click the like buttons. The engagement is really, really important, and the necessity for this engagement is for me to know which direction I should take the channel. Of course, as time goes on, I'll have a stable direction in which the channel is going. And then it also, since it's a roundtable apologetics channel, it also is heavily dependent on people's perspectives and how then to build discussion around that. So thank you for coming through. Thank you for tuning in. And I really, really do appreciate the time that you put in to watch all these videos and engage with them. God bless you. Roundtable Apologetics here for you.